Howdy. So in this video, I'm going to show you an invoice you can use to invoice a model each month, as opposed to replacing her banking information on the OnlyFans account with yours. Especially if the model has just started OnlyFans or hasn't started one yet and she wants you to create one for her and she's very new to this. It's going to get very suspicious when you say, hey, we're going to replace the banking information that you've written down on the account with ours. Understandably, there's a lot of girls that are going to go, oh, guys, they're going to go, I don't know you, you're probably going to do a runner. So there's another way around it. Hey, I'm Bjorn Olsen from yourofempire.com and the Empire Forums, owner of the OnlyFans Empire, an OnlyFans management agency managing girls in the top 1% from all over the world completely remotely, hence different hotel rooms and pets and all my different videos. Check us out at yourofempire.com or at yourofempire on all major social media platforms. But for now, let's get back to the video. You can invoice a model. Now I understand you're going to have some suspicions on the other end. It's going to be like, yeah, but if I leave the bank information as is, do all the work, then send an invoice to the model, she's just going to run off and not pay me. So either way, someone's kind of upset. But here's my thing. If you are providing enough value to the model, she likes what you're doing, and you're making yourself a valuable asset to have on her team, then she won't want to run off, because running off will essentially cost her more money than staying with you and staying in partnership. So regardless, here's an invoice you can use if you want to go that route, and you just rather invoice a model each month instead of replacing the bank information for whatever reason. So here it is. So this is a simple one, by the way. So you just put the payment invoice, you put the date, invoice number for OF management, then from your agency, ABN, well, we're in Australia, so ABN or ACN, you replace it with yours. What do they use in the US again? I can't remember. Something limited. I can't remember. Anyway, you replace it with a banking, a business number. Then your email, invoice to the client's details. But here's the main stuff. So you put the date. We're assuming you can do it monthly. We've always done it monthly. Doing it weekly gets a little confusing, because here's the thing. When you withdraw on OnlyFans, it takes a few days to go through and then go to the account. So it takes a few days for them to process it and then for that money to go to your account. Now, the other thing is that you have to wait for funds to pend. So when you make sales or whatever you sell, PPV, subscriptions, whatever you sell on the OnlyFans account, that money won't actually be able to be withdrawn for 7 days after that. So that money is often left pending. It's kind of like in limbo. So money you make from the night before. So for example, okay, here we go. Say you sell a shitload of PPVs last night. You make a heap of subscriptions, whatever. You make a heap of money on this account last night. You can't withdraw that amount of money today. You can't withdraw it today. You can't do it for another week. So you can see how that gets a little kind of complicated if you want to start invoicing weekly. It's just going to be a shitstorm. So invoice monthly. So here's what we do. By the way, I'm showing you this because we actually do this with probably at least half of our models. I know when I first started, when I first started this, it was a hard sell. Telling a model that just started or whatever that, we're going to replace your bank information with ours. Not a fan. Not a fan. So I was like, back then, I'll just invoice and see how it goes. I can tell you this, I've actually never had a problem. And then I've scaled up big since then. So obviously they know we provide a lot more value. We've got like a bit of a, I don't know, kind of like a reputation. It's a bit more than just, one guy and his dog managing an account. Well, I kind of put on the persona that I was bigger than much bigger than I was back then anyway. But now I'm fortunate enough to be a lot bigger than I was back then. Point is, we still do this now. We still do this now. So invoice half of our models at least, and zero issue. So yeah, anyway, so that's why I have this blah blah. Okay, so you'll put the date. So for example, it'll be May 1st to May 31st, and then all the different ways you can make money on the OnlyFans account. So subscriptions, tips, posts, messages, referrals, and streams. And you're going to put the net amount made for that, not the gross amount. The gross amount is the number that you make for that particular sale or whatever, subscriptions, tips, whatever. Gross number is the whole number that you make before OnlyFans takes their 20%. So then if you were to put, the gross amount here, say it's $20. If you were to put $20 here, then by the time you tell it the invoice, do whatever, divide it by 2, whatever your whatever your percentage rate is, whatever your the revenue split is, you're going to divide that all by 2, and then you're going to be essentially paying the model a lot more than was actually made, because you're going to be paying her 50% in this example of the gross amount, and then OnlyFans are going to take their cut, and when come time to withdraw, you're like, wow, I'm actually giving her 75% of the money that I just withdrew. That makes sense? Point is net. Think of it this way. Gross is like the gross number, and net is how much you actually cash in the net. So the gross, I'm turning into a math accounting lesson. So gross is like the number of sales that's raining down, and the net amount is the amount you catch in the net. It's yours. That's yours to keep. All right? Anyway, I've got a bit of a side tangent there. So that's why you got to put the net amounts in there. And then in this example, we normally go 50%. So in this example, you'll add it all up, divide it by 2, 50%, and then convert it, because OnlyFans only deals with USD. Convert it to whatever, in this case is Australian. Back when I made this, it was $1.54. That is steep. That is steep. Ooh, rough times. Yep, blah, 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 blah. Then total. And then amount owing, payable to, agency, blah, blah, blah. And that'll be your bank information there. So then what will happen is you'll get the model, or you can even do it. You can withdraw the earnings revenue. This will particularly happen, say in this example, you're invoicing for May, right? May 31st is when you stop making sales for May. But it is not till May, June. It is not till the 7th of June when all of the revenue for May will be available. So what's going to happen is, for the month of May, you're going to wait till the 7th of June, then click withdraw. And a couple of days after that, the money from May is going to be withdrawn to the model's account. Then you're going to whip this up, send it to the model, and then she's going to see that and send this total amount to you. Capiche? I had a feeling I made that a lot more complicated than it is. I'm real tired today, so I'm trying to hold it together and trying to do this in one take, and it's tough. Anyway, yeah, you just got to truck on. You just got to keep working. You just got to fucking keep. Yes, I hope that helps. Okay, here's plan A. This is often plan B, because most people, no matter how much times I tell them, nah, the model will run off, bro. She's going to run off, and I don't trust it, and who would do that? You're stupid. I can't believe you're doing that. You're trusting all this money in the hands of it. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Okay, well, this is for you then. So let's say you want to replace your banking info with the models. Call this plan A. Call that plan B, because obviously agencies, managers prefer this method. And then people that kind of laid back and much more confidence in their ability in the service they offer, like me, I'm cool with this, because the way I see it is, if they run off, I've fucked up somewhere. If they run off, I've done something wrong. I haven't shown enough value. I haven't made myself valuable and made them want to stay. So that's why I'm very comfortable doing this, because if they run off, my fault. But other people won't see it that way. So for those people, say you want to replace the model's bank information with yours. Let's say the model's name is Bulma Briefs. Dragon Ball Z, anyone? Big Dragon Ball Z fan if you haven't noticed. Okay, so let's say the model's name is Bulma Briefs, right? But this is your banking information. So when you replace the model's banking info with yours, you have to leave the model's name. I made that real messy. Look, you have to leave the model's name as is. So when I say you replace the banking information with yours, you replace only your banking info. You don't replace the model's name. Why? Why do you think? OnlyFans are going to go, here's some banking info. Okay, cool. That's the models. Hang on. Who's John Smith? That's funny. When we went over her ID and verified her account, I'm sure her name was Bulma Briefs, but banking info says John Smith. Agency, they're an agent. And guess what? Now you're going to say to me, but if I replace the banking info and leave the name as the models and it's not ours, the money's not going to go to the bank account. Well, I'm going to tell you why that's not necessarily true. when you're using, okay, so not unfamiliar. I'm not as sure about virtual banks, like Wise, I was going to say Stripe, the other ones. Oh, my God, I'm tired. Okay, so virtual banks, I'm pretty sure this doesn't work. I haven't actually tried, but I'm pretty sure this doesn't work. If you leave the model's name as is and replace your bank info with, for example, Wise, then when you go to withdraw, that money is not going to go to Wise. But when you use a brick and mortar store, what I mean by brick and mortar store, a bank that is physical, bricks and mortar, that doesn't matter as much. So here's what will happen. Say you have a brick and mortar store, which I highly recommend. Highly recommend because I've been banned from fucking nearly every virtual bank there is. MyZella, Wise, Revolut. There was another cool one. Air Wallets. I say cool because the card looked real cool. It came out, had like an orange border around it. I was like, wow, this bank's awesome. Yeah, not so awesome. So going back to Old Faithful, brick and mortar store. So here's your bank. You're going to replace the model's bank information with yours. You're going to leave the model's name as is, okay? And when you go to withdraw, here's what's going to happen. The model's name is just going to float off into the abyss, but the banking info is still going to go to yours, which means the money is still going to go to your bank, okay? Definitely made this a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Long story short, if you're using a brick and mortar store, I say that because I'm sure about that. Virtual banks, not so sure, probably doesn't work. If you're using a brick and mortar store, then it is safe to, well, don't help me do that. Obviously, this won't work with all of them. Probably what should I say? Chances are you can replace the model's bank information with yours and leave her name, and the money will still go to your brick and mortar bank. Okay, so that's plan. What was that? Plan A. And that's it. I'm just going to wrap it up there because I keep rambling on. I'm really, really tired. I've got a habit of working a lot. You just can't look. You can't stop. Work hard. You can't stop. So I'm just going to wrap it up there. All right. So I hope that helps. So here's the invoice, little template. Obviously, it is on. You know it. Yes, it is. But for those people who are getting pitch fatigue, oh, you talk about this in all the videos. You always mention Empire. It's probably a rip-off, probably a scam. Well, look, you can clearly see it's not a fucking scam. I didn't forge those numbers. These aren't fake. There's not 95 empty posts there. So clearly you can see it's not a scam. But for those people who go, oh no, I'm not going to pay or do anything, I'll just freeze frame and make my own template and got him. Look, I'll make it easy for you. Here you go. Boom. Do your worst, baby. Do your worst. That's it. So that's plan B. Plan A, you can replace that. Don't replace that. Money will still go to your brick and mortar bank. And that's it. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. I've got a lot of people that interact. They reply to comments. I told you I'm tired. They write comments and stuff, but they don't like and they don't subscribe. So it hurts me a little bit. So if you like the content, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you on another video.